And hopefully the sound is up. Okay. Now I'm going to cough. Okay. No editing. Okay.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. It is morning. Welcome to PJ Knits. My name's Penny, and I live in Central Illinois, and I'm a knitter, a blogger, and a YouTube podcaster. And today I have
Kendra. I am a knitter and a friend of Penny's, and excited to be here.
Yeah, back for a return engagement. We have a super fun announcement to make, but first the weather report. In Central Illinois, it's raining. It's going to be like 50 this week, so it's not spring yet.
Yeah.
So
it's very mild feeling outside, but drizzly, gloomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but hey, we're heading out of March into April, so and I'm not complaining. But other than my tulip trees, see that's what they've done.
Yeah.
And they did early stuff, so they're kind of brownish. But anyway, so that's the weather report. In case you're all interested, thank you for coming back to my channel. This is where I talk about knitting and other things, mostly knitting. But like I said in the beginning, we have this super fun announcement to make. So we're over the moon. So background on this, for those of you who have heard us talk about or attended Frivolous and Frugal's 3-ply podcast mini meetups in the last 3 or 4 years, you know that those have been held at the last weekend in July in Hoffman Estates. And we've attended several of them and got to know the ladies and have just thoroughly enjoyed our time up there. This year, though, both Frivolous and Frugal and 3-ply podcast decided to kind of take a break from it and from the meetup. And Kendra and I had talked about when they were doing theirs that we would like to do something here in Central Illinois and do it maybe like in the fall and kind of duplicate that. So,
well, and they had, just to interject, they had talked early on about part of their inspiration was to get people to do it locally, to gather their own local knitters. And so we had talked about doing that even before they decided not to continue.
Right, exactly. And so we were going that avenue, and then we heard that they decided that they would like to take a break from it. And so we still continue to look here in Central Illinois area and could not find any hotels that would do everything that we wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. And so it almost coincided at the same time that they decided to take a break from it. And so we reached out to Dawn, and I reached out to 3-ply as well and asked them if they minded if we, kind of took their weekend and their spot, and they said go for it. So that's what we're doing. We are ever grateful for Dawn and Penny and the whole Frivolous and Frugal gang, as well as 3-ply podcast for all the hard work they've done, because we really kind of just said, we want to do this, and we'd like to do it in your space, do your thing,
right,
and do all the some of the same things that you did. So that is our plan.
Yes. So it is. This year we're calling it the Makers Meetup, because what we have seen in the previous years is there are all kinds of makers, knitters, crocheters, spinners, cross stitchers,
paper piecing,
needlepoint.
I have a friend who wants a needlepoint.
Yep. So we are welcoming all different kinds of makers. Mm-hmm. The beauty that we have found in this event is its simplicity. So it is free. There is no charge except for your own expenses, the hotel, your meals, etc., but no registration, no entry fee. There is no schedule, no classes, no market. We're just keeping it simple. It's just a gathering of Fibre friends. We have enjoyed that so much. We've made friends. We've, this really nice community has developed from this gathering.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so we have the hotel set. Now, everything that pertains to this will be a couple of places. There will be show notes down below. and it will have links to the hotel there. Also, I'll set up a Ravelry thread under the PJ Knits group that will have all the information in there as well, and links to the hotel. So all that information will be there. It's going to be, again, if you've not attended, we'd love to have you come, because truly you will meet new friends that from all over, that you will keep those friendships going, maybe just via a Zoom or who knows how it all develops. Our friendships, for some of them, have developed through Zooms that we do on Tuesday and Saturday, and you do another with another group, and so you will build such a community, and so we encourage you all to not only come if you can, but bring a friend. And we have people who fly in as well, drive together, friends come together. So we encourage you to, and we will hope that people will reach out to others, and you will let others know who might maybe not watch the podcast, but you do, and you want to let your group know that the event's still going on this year, but it's just got a couple of new people who are coordinating the event.
So,
okay.
Do you want me to say the details?
Yep.
Okay, so it's July 26th and 27th are the two main days, which are Friday and Saturday. We have a room reserved, a large event room, and that's where people gather. We have a discount code at the hotel, like Penny said, and that's available the 25th, which is
Friday,
Thursday
Saturday.
night, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's the Hilton Garden Inn in Hoffman Estates, Illinois.
Close to Chicago, so if you're flying in and whatever. $109 includes breakfast.
Yes.
Breakfast.
Yeah, very reasonable hotel. The hotel's been recently renovated, but it's a very nice hotel, very easy to navigate. One of the things, very safe. One of the things we've enjoyed about it is that you're just right there. So if you don't want to go anywhere, you don't have to. A lot of people get meals delivered. There are a couple of very, very nice yarn shops nearby. So some people go out and shop. There are a couple of very large shopping malls, and some people go shop at those, but you don't have to do any of those things if you don't want to.
No. Yeah, you can just come and sit. That's what I did last year. I went up on Thursday, and I went to the two yarn shops, Elgin Knitworks and Wool & Co., and I did that on Thursday on my way to the hotel. And then there were people shopping from the event that were there. And so I did that on Thursday. And then when I got to the hotel on Thursday afternoon, I couldn't quite check in, but there was a group already forming in the lobby. There's a big table, at least there has been in the past, that people kind of congregate around that Thursday night. So if you're inclined to come in Thursday night, I'm sure there will be a group of us sitting there and knitting on Thursday night. And then what I did last time on Friday and Saturday, I just planted myself at a table and knit all weekend, because that's just what I needed. I just wanted to sit there and and it was fun because people came to the table, not necessarily everybody at the same table every day. Some went shopping, so some would come, and it was just kind of nice to get to know people. So if you're inclined to just come and sit and do nothing but knit or crochet or your craft, that's perfectly acceptable, because and that's the fun thing too. So you can definitely do whatever you want and make it the weekend that you want to do it. Have.
There are people that have like a spouse or a partner or a kid with them, and they might do their own things during the day and then go to dinner together or whatever. It's just very easygoing. You can make it the weekend that you want it to be.
That's right. And if transportation is an issue that or you're not comfortable driving out to the Elgin shops or whatever, there is always people there that are more than happy to get you where you need to go. And I think I can say that I foresee that we have some dear friends who would be more than happy to transport you to a yarn shop, for sure, because they like to do that, and they've already reached out. We've had several people reach out and have been so gracious in volunteering. So,
and there have been people in years past that have taken Amtrak to Chicago or have flown into Chicago airports, and people from the group go and pick them up. So
exactly,
people are very gracious about that.
We hope that you will. Since there's no formal event, but we hope that you will wear your knits for sure as a kind of show and tell, just as you're sitting around. Because I got a lot of good ideas from people who wore knits or brought knits to show what they were working on. And I mean, you are definitely going to be enabled by yarn and patterns and how to wear it for sure. So we encourage people to bring their knits and, wear them or put them over their chair or just, show them off. We'll be happy to show them off informally, of course. But so we encourage that. You don't have to. And also we were on a Zoom the other night, and you don't have to worry about how you dress. If you don't want to wear your knits, that's fine. I'm blue jeans almost all the way. If you want to wear a comfy dress, if you want to wear your pajama pants, we're in a conference room. It's whatever, you're comfortable in. And there's no fanciness to this at all, other than I like to wear my knits because, that's what I am, is a knitter. So, but no pressure. There's no pressure on, attire or anything. So.
Well, and you can... I mean, the nice thing about it, too, is if you want to spend a lot of money that weekend, you can with shopping and food and that kind of thing. If you want to spend very little money, you can do that, too. The rooms have a fridge. They have a Keurig and a microwave.
Yep.
So a lot of people bring, breakfast is included, like Penny said, but then people bring something to keep in their room for lunch, and so... Yeah, exactly. You can truly make the weekend what you want it to be.
Yeah, totally. I think last year the only other than food in my room, the only thing I bought was a set of needles that I needed for something else. But it's you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just bring your knitting or your craft and just enjoy the whole weekend. So we will have a table for snacks. That everybody likes to bring snacks and those will stay in the room the whole time in the conference room. And, you can share the snacks that people bring if there's something specific that you want to bring. And we always have plenty of snacks there. There will be a put and take table. So if you have yarn or books or craft related.
We keep having a bird visitor on the windowsill.
A pretty red non-cardinal bird over there kind of ticking at the window. So there must be something there. That's why we keep looking out that way, because it's like... It's checking us out. Maybe it wants to come to Hoffman Estates. Maybe. It wants to hear about it. But so we'll have a put and take table that you can bring your yarns and books or things that you want to trade, you want to get rid of. You don't have to take anything, but if there's something there that you want to take with you that your eye and your hands need, you can do that. The only thing we ask at the end of the weekend, if your things are still left, is that you take them with you, because otherwise we'll donate them somewhere, Goodwill or somewhere. So, but anyway, we'll have that table, and then we will also have a needs a new home. So if you have knits in your closet or shawls or scarves or whatever, needlepoint pictures that you want to get rid of, we'll have a table for that, and so that people can try those on and take those as well. So
I think last year there were quite a few hats that someone took at the end of the weekend that were left, and donated them to a shelter. So that is a nice thing to be able to destash and also put knits that you're not wearing or using to good use.
Definitely. So we're hoping that that you will all again share this with friends that may not watch the podcast, and if you have podcasters that we will reach out to some of the podcasters that we know that come every year. We'll reach out to them and ask for them to kind of advertise it on their channel and to attend, because we'd love to have I would like to see us have quite a few podcasters show up. So that we could introduce those like they did that one year we went to the group, so that you can get a feel for if for other podcasts that are out there, and grow their channel. Or even if you're thinking about doing a podcast, it'd be fun to, just kind of pick the brains of others.
Mm-hmm.
So please share it. We'll be putting it out on everywhere. We'll put it on Instagram. Like I said, there will be a Ravelry thread, and I'll create an event in Ravelry. And we hope that on that event thing on Ravelry, that if you're coming, that you will, check the box that you are coming. You don't have to do this, but we'd love to know if you are coming. So if you reach out via, I will have my information in the drop-down box, for my email and Instagram and Kendra and that, so that if you could just let us know you're coming. We'd kind of like to get an idea of numbers. Just because, it's kind of fun to know. I know we've only,
Right.
I've been kind of keeping a list of people who say they're coming, and so we've got about maybe 20 to 25, with a few of those being maybes. So, but we'd love to know, get a close number, because you just never know.
Right. I mean, everything we've planned so far is just based on estimates, and we think it'll be fine, but just to make sure we have enough seats for everybody, that we have enough coffee.
Yes, we will have
yeah.
a coffee station and a Keurig and a coffee pot and coffee there. The hotel has a water thing, and so there will be, like I said, and like Kendra said too, there's a refrigerator in your room, so if you want to bring Diet Coke or whatever,
Right.
and bop up that to get that, you can do that as well. So
The hotel also has a bar.
yes, for the evening.
So and I think it's only open in the evening.
I believe it is, because
yeah.
that's what usually when we haven't hit it in the afternoon
Right.
yet.
Yeah.
Starbucks is not far away.
Yeah.
And like we said before, people deliver, and I had Jimmy John's delivered. I know that others have. James had stuff he had something delivered as well, which made me think, hey, I could have mine delivered.
Right.
I had a prime parking spot, and that's the other reason I wasn't leaving the whole weekend.
We also had good Chicago deep dish pizza delivered last
Yes.
year. Lots of good restaurants.
Yes,
close by.
yeah.
So.
And I could get gluten-free, so
Yeah.
we had just a really great time. And so we're encouraging everybody. And again, we're so grateful to Dawn and Penny and Angie and Joyce and Irene for all the hard work they've already done. Appreciate that, letting us
Yeah.
just slide into this, And Dawn spent a Zoom with us and gave a lot of insights
Yeah.
of things that they've done. But again, we're going to change things up a little, just a tad.
Yeah.
And so there will be some surprises coming. So I don't think you'll want to miss it.
I don't think so. It's going to be fun. We're very excited.
We're so looking forward to it. Now, we talked about, when you texted me about, our favorite things about retreats, I'm like, why? I don't have any idea. Well, I started this list this morning. I couldn't stop. And it's like, okay, so what is your favorite thing? You can take as long as you want.
Honestly, my favorite thing about this retreat, and I feel like I could get a little teary, is just developing friendships of people that I never would have met or encountered, and just the sense of community that's developed from it has been very, very special.
It has, and that was top of my list as well, because again, the retreat, this meetup initially hit me at just the time that I needed, right? And progressed to that. And keeps, and the Saturday night Zoom and the Tuesday night that James Dude Knits does, reconnected me with these people. And really, I don't want to say how this sounds, but it helps me, the Tuesday and the Saturday helps me keep my sanity from being totally, life different. So,
right.
Yeah, and building the community and building the podcast community. I mean, if it was not for those who have shouted out to me, to their podcasts, I wouldn't have the numbers that I have.
Right.
So, and it's all because of this meetup.
Yeah.
Right? I echo that. It's just friendships from all over. And the thing about the friendships that we're building is And those who were on a Tuesday night a couple of weeks ago will know what I mean. But there are times when you can just say anything, and you get no
judgment,
no backlash about. Anyway, those who are on it will know what I mean. But you know what, we can and we can talk about things without being judged by it. It's opinions. Opinions vary, as someone once said. So yeah,
I echo that. Like, I love that. Your Zoom on Saturdays, James on Tuesdays. There's a group from Ohio from that their local yarn shop is around the table. They do a Zoom on Thursdays. Sometimes it's just great to have that to look forward to. Yeah. That you're going to be together with this group of friends and
totally. Yeah. Because my son one Saturday wanted me to go to dinner, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then
I have plans.
So I try not. I do when I go to Iowa. And then that'll happen in a couple of weeks. But that I don't have to do, but that I can't attend. But then I always have somebody like Marie who will say, hey, I'm going to be on there. I'll facilitate.
Yeah.
And so without all of that, none of this would have happened. So. Yeah. That's the big thing. So what else?
One of my other favorite things about this retreat is just I started to say lack of structure. It's not lack of structure. It's the not having a schedule. We have, with our group of friends, we've been very blessed to go to Stitches, to go to Knit City in Montreal, and all those things have been great, but one, they're expensive.
Yeah.
And you have to be places at a certain time. And so I love about this, you can just come and go as you please. Right. You can wake up early. You can sleep in, You
can take a nap in the afternoon.
Right. And, there have been lots of people we've seen that are like, I'm going to take a little time. And they go to their room and just hang out and have some quiet or take a little nap.
Get away. Have a hot cup of coffee up in your room. And for me, the only decisions I have to make is, where am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? And what am I going to put on that day?
Right.
The other just kind of flows, it just kind of happens. And I enjoy that too. So, one of the things that I loved, and I'm just going to say, is because goes with the friendship thing as well, but I have to say that meeting Sandy and Cher have been, and so I won this in 2022. So those who watch all the time, that Sandy makes my bags for me to give away. So, I love a good bag. So, meeting Sandy has been so much fun, and her daughter Cher, and
I mean, she's so generous with her bags and gifting them and donating them, but really, she's just a gem of a person. She is. That has been a gift.
It has been such a gift, and both of them are so kind and generous, and appreciate their contributions to the podcast for certain. One of the things that I had on my we talked about too is just sitting around the local yarn shops. I mean, I love seeing something different. And on that note, this was one I bought a couple of years ago because I went to Elgin Knitworks and they had a sample.
I remember that.
And so the yarn dyer is no longer dyeing, right? But that was so much fun, just to do that and some mohair. And getting some ideas. So I totally love the local yarn shops and the things that they provide. Now, also, another thing is be prepared that somebody may start a knit along specific for this event. There was a challenge in 2022 for, if you remember, the Burra cowl. That's as far as mine is. It still has the needles on there. So there may be challenges, and you don't have to partake. It's strictly
right.
But sometimes I love a good challenge, and it's like, well, if you're doing it, I'm doing it.
I know. So I made one of those too, and mine is finished.
Yeah, you finished yours.
It was really going back the next year that motivated me to finish. Otherwise, I probably would not have.
And mine did not. but I do want to finish it. But so that was one of the challenges in 2022 that some of us partaked. And then there was the green sweater.
The
And
green
I
sweater.
wore this before too. This is Niagara's. Oh, it's inside out. No.
I did not partake in the green sweater challenge. I was like in the year of trying not to buy a lot of yarn, and I didn't have green yarn to do it with, so I did not do it.
I had a green already on the needles. So I did have this done last year. So anyway, so be prepared that somebody may start a knit along, and you may want to join in on that, and then just, and then we take pictures, outside, and that's kind of fun too. So totally,
Yes, last year when it was, 95 degrees in the evening, we were all outside wearing our burricals that were woolly wool, most of them, and yeah.
Exactly. So
All great fun.
it was great fun. Yeah. So, what else? Anything else about that? We're super excited about it.
Yeah.
Super excited about it. Can't wait for July, but I can wait for July because we have, things in the works and
Right.
stuff that's happening with you and all of that stuff. So anyway, please, we hope you will come and bring your friends. We're good with that, and we always like to meet new people for sure. And just have a good weekend no matter what. Because last year we had a torrential rain at night.
Yes.
You're inside, you're knitting.
Yeah.
It's comfy, cozy.
Yeah.
All's well. So, and there's also a pool there, right?
Yes, there is a pool.
So, you're good there. Alrighty.
Okay.
So, Kendra, what are you wearing?
I am wearing the Allison cardigan.
Do you know who it's by? Right, Jen? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I should, but I don't.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yes, I'll look it up. It's Miss Babs Yowza yarn and
Pandemic yarn?
Pandemic yarn. I bought it when there was a virtual marketplace going on. I like it just because it's comfy and easy to wear. The pattern had pockets, which I did not do. Just because I didn't want to, I don't need extra bulk around my hips. So left off the pockets. But it's one of my favorites.
And we will link everything that from here on out too will be linked, and we'll link Kendra's project page and her Ravelry as well. So we'll do that.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing the Super Simple Summer Sweater. I refer to it as the 4 S's from here on out because I'm not going to say that. It is by Hohi, and I did it in February to April of 2021. So that was, that was the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I had already bought the yarn from Espace Tricot probably the year before. And I used the yarn that was actually done in the pattern, the Retro Saria Rosa Palmar Mungo. And again, it's on my project page. I love this one. I made a second one just out of no stripes. And I knew that I wanted the stripes. And I had seen somebody on Instagram who had the red. And I thought, I want to do that. So I did it in the cream, there's 720 yards. Manja, 480 yards. I made the size medium. And because I didn't want it overly super large, and I did a size 6 needle in the yoke and a size 9 after the split of the arm. So this will be, I am PJ Knits 1. That's my project page. So I will link that as well. But and I made bracelet sleeve link because I just kind of like those, and I kind of tried to center everything up as I was going. So. It's perfect for today. It's
a really nice weight, like warm but not overly
it's
heavy.
Substantial, but not overly heavy. Yeah, not a summer sweater. And when I first saw it, it was in the summertime, and then when I knit this, I was like, "There's no way, going to do that in the summertime." But it's perfect for today, and we'll make a return engagement probably at knitting tomorrow. So.
Well, and I've looked at that pattern so many times and thought, I should make that for summer, and then I have to remember that Hoagi's in the southern hemisphere, so it's not a hot weather sweater.
Yeah, it's not
For
not
her.
unless you do it out of something else.
Yeah.
My other one that I knit out of Briar Rose, 4th of July, which is a worsted weight, and that's the one that I wear all winter long over t-shirts in the house.
Mhm.
That's kind of my but I just no striping, just comfy. So it's nice for that if you don't want to do stripes as well. It was a really nice knit. So anyway, but what else do you have? You want to?
I have just a couple things that I've been working
Okay.
on. I am working on the Tweed baby blanket, the Shetland Hap style by Jared Flood. Doing that with PJ Knits Hap Along. I'm kind of tangled up here. I am I'm finished with the center square. It's one that you start with the center square and then do your
nice.
lacy
Yes.
ridges on the outside. I had done the first ridge. I'm doing this in this color is just called white, even though
It's creamy.
It's creamy. This is citrus, and this is light pink, and the yarn is Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino.
I love that. Love it.
Yeah, I love the yarn. It feels so nice.
Gives a little softness halo.
Yep. And I'm expecting my first granddaughter, so this is for baby girl. So very excited about that. But I didn't like the way the first ridge in the pink knit up, so I just ripped it out and started over. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Cool.
You have to pick up between the garter ridges, and I just didn't like the way it looked, and so I kind of changed up my technique, and I'm much happier with it now. So that is what I'm mostly focused on. Because time marches on.
That's right.
When a baby's on the way.
For sure.
And then I also have with me some socks.
So cool.
These are Hermione's Everday socks.
Can I take it closer?
Yep. Nice little texture pattern. This is by Erica Luder. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's just a really, really nice.
Yeah. It's soft.
Yeah.
That was one of your subscriptions,
It
right?
is. It is Farmer's Daughter Fibers. And she has 3 or 4 different breeds of sheep that her bases are on.
Wow. Yeah.
And this is Bighorn sock, and the color is Love Good.
It is so soft.
It is very soft.
So scrumptious.
Yeah.
Kendra.
Yeah, very happy with those.
Yes.
They haven't gotten tons of attention, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's. Well, my experience with socks. Yeah.
Well, last year, and the year before, honestly, were the years of the sock for me, and so I have worn hand knit socks every day this winter, and really found, the measurements that work for me and all of that. So
sure enough,
kind of slowed down on the socks.
That's cool. I have. Let's see. Do you have any finished objects? No.
No.
I have one finished object, but it's upstairs. I just finished it last night. My Friday tee's done, and I need to weave in the ends and block it. And let's just say I'm not as happy with it as I thought I would be, but I think in blocking it will help.
Yeah.
And so that is a future episode and a future knit. I love knitting on it.
It looks beautiful.
It took me forever, but I'm hoping when I knit on it, and I did not realize something until almost the very end, and I'm not ripping this all back out. I think that I can fix it in blocking / duplicate stitch where I changed things. It should have been a little bit further over than it was, and I don't know why I didn't pay attention to that. I was just married.
When you changed colors for the striping,
Yeah. And since then found a better way, I think, to change colors. So that's another episode for sure. I have. This is the progress on my hat from the last time where the little handy dandy Snoopy is. And I'm on the decreases finally. So on that, but again, that has not had a whole lot of love either. And we'll probably have another Zoom, maybe the first Monday in May on that, because there's some other things that are on my radar.
It's funny to me with mine, like I was so happy once I reached the widest point and got to the decreases, but for some reason it seemed like the decreases took longer.
Yeah, because you're kind of
Maybe
like
motivation. I don't know.
Yeah, and I know that Rosie is doing. Excuse me, Rosie is doing motor dye, and she is.
She's going outside in,
and she's inside now.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait to see how that progressed. She's already made one of those before, and so so she knows what she's kind of sort of doing. But
did you show your chip bag? Isn't that a chip?
Yeah,
basket?
it's a chip bag I got right at Christmas
so
time.
cute.
And I
just love that.
It's housing my my hat, so that this is the Hansel hat, and so it's a perfect container.
I love that.
For it.
Yeah,
I do too. And, perfect.
So cute.
I mean, coffee eyes. I'm saying it's coffee. But my other big thing is I am doing a test knit for Beth Macdonald Stone. I'm doing her Bermy Basic 28, which is the fingering weight. And she's got several of them out there published now. And I just like that whole concept of her patterns. It's a yoked sweater. And she's doing it in different gauges so that when you go to, Wool and Company or Elgin Knitworks in July, and you're like, oh, I want to make a worsted weight sweater, yoke, simple, she's got a pattern for that. And so,
because how many times have we all bought, a sweater quantity of yarn, not really knowing what we were going to do with it, and then kind of struggled to find something with the right gauge. And with that, you just have to have the gauge, and there's a pattern for it. Exactly.
So I tried really hard. I'm doing the Bermy Basic 28, which is the fingering weight version. And I tried really hard to use some yarn that I had in my stash, PYS. And so I cast on twice with some yarn that I had. But it was all variegated, and then I had a variegated the same. It was an Emma's yarn, and I had a mohair, and I thought, well, I'll do the yoke out of mohair. And then I'm like, that really wasn't sending me. And I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to just cast on, and do a plain, variegated sweater. So I also needed a project for down at our local yarn shop, the Fibre Universe. So I went shopping, and as it was, Erin had Malabrigo on the rack, and these colors were together. And I'm like, I think I need to do something with these two colors. So it is Malabrigo sock. It is Gloria, and it is Light of Love are the two colorways that I'm using. This is the Light of Love, and it's really kind of it's pink, but in a different light, it's more of a corally pink. It's not a hot pink. It's not a Barbie pink.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's very tonal.
Tonal, yeah. And it's Light of Love sock. So, and the other one is Gloria. And these two were sitting together. And I'm like, oh, I could do something with that. And then our friend Debbie, I was telling her about the Emmas, and she's like, that's so boring. And I'm like, what about these? And the consensus was everybody kind of sort of liked those two together.
And this is Malabrigo too?
Yeah, both of them Malabrigo, yeah. So, cast on it. And I am having so much fun with this that I had to make myself finish Friday tea. I have to have I want it done in April. So here's what we're looking at right now.
That is so good.
And this is going to block out. All the other ones have this huge neck, okay? But I'm okay with this.
Did you cast on less, or you
no,
followed the pattern?
I followed the pattern, exactly, yeah. And so I am doing what they call Fibonacci, which is a math thing. And I'm just going to own this. When I was in grade school, the new math came out, and I cried. And my mom couldn't help me because she didn't know it either. I cried. I hated math. From that point forward, I took algebra in geometry in high school. I barely made it out of algebra without help.
Yeah.
Took some in college, hated it there. I mean, to me, there was no reason for it, and I wasn't knitting, so.
Right. I took stats in college because it satisfied the math requirement.
Oh, I should have done that, but I was like, I don't get, why do I need to know the slope?
Right.
And then, you know, as we got into work, I'm like, I don't need this. That's what they have programs for, to calculate this.
Right.
So anyway, I knew that Fibonacci was out there in the way of knitting. So I decided to do that Fibonacci strips.
It looks so good.
And I don't know how far I'm going to go with it. If I'm going to go all the way through the body. You know, I don't know that yet. I'm kind of like, I don't know.
I was going to ask you that, if you think, like, once you get past the yoke, if you're going to go
keep going.
all one color or stripe the whole thing?
I think I'm going to stripe the whole thing, and they'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger stripes. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do.
It looks so good.
So I'm really knitting this on the needles. I'm not my thought is to keep going that way, because the nice thing too, as those stripes get bigger, they're more flattering, you know, kind of like this, you know. Because originally I thought, well, I'll do something like this. And I'm like, well, that's so same. That's nothing new and improved or whatever. So it's a yoke sweater for sure. And go out on Ravelry on Beth Macdonald Stone's pattern pages and see all the mini ones that have been coming out, or on Instagram as well. So, but I'm just really loving knitting on this as it goes.
So good.
Yeah. So that's what I've been knitting on. That's what I'm continuing to knit on right now, because I'm super, super excited about it. And again, it's something that I can, you know, knit on down at the shop. So, that's what I've got as far as knitting. Let's just segue into this real quick here before we do mail call. If you remember, last time we had a bag, very subtle. And again, this is a Sandy bag. And if you're coming to the retreat, you will get to meet Sandy and Cher. They are both already planning to come. So we have a winner for this from the comments. Last time I asked you to put in your thoughts about spring summer sweaters, and the winner is Patsy Coates 4061, and her comment was she was not a sweater knitter, but Anchor summer sweater is on her radar. And Patsy, later this spring I'll be wearing mine, you know, probably on the podcast, and I love that sweater. I love knitting it. I think that was one of my first Petite knits that I knit, but you would love knitting that. It's a fun sweater to knit and to wear for spring and summer. You know, it'd be a perfect one.
It's on my radar too. I have not knit one, but I need to.
And Debbie did the cardigan, and it's really cool. Really like knitting on that. So Patsy, if you'll give me your, I assume last name is Coates, but verify that with me, and you can do that to my email that'll be linked below, or DM me on Instagram, or also Ravelry too. Give me your full name and address, and I'll get that out to you in the next week-ish. So congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. These bags are so nice, and I love that one's so perfect for spring.
Yeah, it has the sheep on it, and I just love it. She's, like I said, my bag went to Florida with me, and it goes to the shop, and so right now it's the one I'm using, you know, for a lot of things. So that is, congratulations. Thank you again for everybody who commented. I do appreciate that. It's so much fun to read your comments. So, mail call, stash enhancement. Did you get anything?
I only have one thing. I'm really, really trying to not make a lot of yarn purchases this year, but I gifted myself for Christmas this monthly sock club from Farmer's Daughter. You know, I've heard a lot about this yarn. I wanted to try it, so I'm going to do a few months of that. So I got this is the March. I need to put
I can do it for you.
the colorway.
Grandma's hands.
Grandma's hands. So this was the March yarn.
Oh, that's so cool.
So cool. And I have
That's kind of great.
couple, it's kind of like a steel, kind of a little bit of blue hint. So I have a couple of books that have cute sock patterns that have like some color work up around the cuff. So I'm thinking instead of, I mean, normally I would just use this for heels and toes, but I'm thinking I might use this to do a little color work.
Oh, yeah.
And then do the rest of the sock solid. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And what sheep is this one?
Highwood sock, merino nylon. Yeah.
Yeah. So Highwood, I assume, I mean, all of hers are types of sheep. So, yeah.
That is so cool. Now, remind me, you get a new sock yarn every month.
Correct.
For how long are you doing it?
You do it month by month, which is nice. You don't have to make a commitment, for a certain number. There's like a date by the end of the previous month that you have to cancel if you want to stop. But I like that you're not committed for a year or, whatever. But
yeah, exactly.
I've really enjoyed it so far.
That's cool. I like that. And it's so soft. What you've been knitting on. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I again bought my yarn for that because, again, there wasn't anything really was selling me in PYS. And then there was an Instagram post. And so, and what it was, this is it's Arcane Fiberworks, and she posted again today. The yarn is called My Happy Place, and she posted this with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's like that's a latte right there.
And the whole thing was Christmas time. Also posted by Stone Knits, the coffee break stocks. And so in my mind, I was thinking, I need something for this background. So I bought the yarn to go for the base of the socks. And then I think I have some brown that's in my thing, or not. But at some point in time, I'm going to do those socks. But I cannot cast them on until I finish my shorty socks. And so that's what I did on that. Well, and as long as I was doing it, again, this is Arcane Fiberworks in Canada. And as long as I was doing it to get free shipping, I had to order another one. So I ordered another one, but I can't show it because it's going into my Advent. So I think I have all of my Advent yarns. And the one that I bought from Arcane, unfortunately, I really want to show you, and I really want to use it for me because it's really me. If you know what I mean. But I put it in the closet in the Christmas thing, put it away, because I'm like, I really want to show you this. I really want to. No, stop. So, and then this is a funny, but again, I'm known for if you need a book or you need a pattern, ask me because I like buying books, and I like getting books for. Yeah, sometimes I think, oh, you bought that book, but there's not a pattern in there you're going to make. Or there's only one and you spent, 30, 40, 50 bucks on a book. But for me, it's reading material and it's things to go back at. It's things to dream about. So when the Petite knitter put on her Instagram that she was having her book come out, I had to have it because I have not knit any of her patterns, but I've looked at them over and over and over again. So I ordered her Arctic Knits book directly from her. And so it came, it is full of color work, but the photographs in it.
It's a beautiful book.
Beautiful. And, she talked about stories in here about where she lives and how difficult it is to get stuff, the projects and all of that. But just the photography in here, and it's Icelandic type Arctic knits. There's mittens, there's hats. There's like 6 garments, 3, whatever. But she, ponies these up with the pictures.
I love in those socks how she reversed the color work.
Yes.
Like which color
the heel
is
and
dominant.
toe. Yes, exactly.
So cute.
Yeah. And like I said, the hats, there's hats. There is just those. I mean, I think those are super. She did the same thing on them.
So cute.
Yeah. There is a to die for, here it is. It's an alpaca, actual alpaca, not a llama, but an alpaca one. And so I am just dying to do one or both of those things. So I just thought, super fun. Super warm, and I have stuff. And the thing I liked about this is it wasn't just one particular yarn. As I recall, there was a Sonder yarn in there. There was other stuff. Like I think I could do my Plutalope in here.
I think wasn't her Sonder Colorwork sweater a collab with Sonder yarn?
Exactly. So there's mittens. I could see doing mittens. And I was talking the other night, I needed a hat scarf and mittens that go together. I have a pink and black hat. Now I can make pink and black mittens and pink and black scarf or whatever. But yeah, I just super excited. And then it sold out, and then she did a second printing. But the fun thing about it was when it came, there was unexpected goodies in there. Just a little
gotta love goodies when you order something.
Postcard with a discount code, which I have to investigate, and the way it's packaged, here's a little polar bear, stitch marker. Oops,
that's so cute.
Isn't that cute? And a little where you can put for each color that you're working on.
Oh, I love
your
that.
project.
That's cool.
I thought it was a bookmark to start with, and it's like, look, you can put that little thing in there. So that was so cool. And so that was part of it. And then, I couldn't figure out what these were, but, and I can't really show. I don't know why I'm even bothering, but itty bitty polar bears.
So what do you do with those?
Look at them.
Admire how cute they are.
Don't lose them. You can't even see them. But there's a little polar bear there. Anyway, it was just too cute. Lose them.
Well, and they're so tiny. Just even the workmanship to
yes,
make
to laser
those.
cut them.
Like, yeah.
So I was just like super excited when I got the book, and I sat down like a day like today with a cuppa and just thought, okay, I'm just going to sit here and read that. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
And just the aesthetic of where and all photographed up where she lives, up in their upper Arctic, that gets a boat once a year for stuff. Just a really good read, just in general. She has a section on washing and storing, and blocking and all kinds of stuff. So, just the pictures are just great as well. So,
is that her in the photograph?
yes, that is her, and I assume her husband, with the back to us. But yeah.
So cute.
Isn't that cute? So that was one, and then again, then I saw on Instagram, Carol Christianson posted this Shetland fine lace knitting, recreating patterns from the past. And because of the HAP and because of Shetland and because of the Shetland lace, I have an epic lace project on the needles that Denise and my friend Linda and our friend Holly, who's since passed away, were all working on at the same time. And we kind of dropped it when she passed away, but I want to get it back out. But I had to have the book because it's Shetland fine lace knitting, and it's not for everybody. Let's just put it that way. It's some history. It's a historical book. There are some patterns in it, but what I liked about it is they showed the original pattern and they showed the reknitted pattern. Very cool. Fine lace. Yeah. So there are patterns throughout and a lot of history in it as well.
So she recreated.
Yes, her in a group.
Updated patterns from old designs.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. With a group of people, with the history. But so, like I said, it has the patterns in there for creating, and really the whole thing is,
gosh, look at that!
Isn't that something? And over here, the way they're doing that, and the thought process here for the book is to not let this art die, because other things. for sure. But
It's
she
beautiful
talks
book.
about all kinds of different patterns of how they're laid out, and it's really kind of a done through the Shetland Museum, and definitely a place that if I went to Shetland that I would want to go to and check it out. But yeah, just trying to keep the art alive, and not for everybody again, for sure,
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just some great stuff. So, of course, I had to have it, and I had to get it directly from Shetland, and again, Carol signed it, and yeah.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, so those are my couple of books that I got, and then just this morning, this is how the meetup happens. I met my first one we went to. I met Kathy at the mini meetup, and we just struck up a conversation. She reminds me so much of a dear friend of mine over in Bloomington here. It reminds me of her sister so much. And this morning I got this package from Kathy. She said she knew that as soon as she saw these that they were meant for me. So thank you, Kathy, and I'm going to put them on my project. I'm going to put them on my other project. Take the Harry Potter ones off, but there's my Charlie Brown and Snoopy one. So thank you so much. But
cute.
a direct, because of the meetup, I met Kathy and we developed a friendship, and look what I got. So super, super sweet. Just another branch of the meetup.
Yeah.
How it all develops, over a craft that we all love.
Well, and the Zoom that I do with the group that's affiliated with Around the Table, we're doing a birthday swap this year.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So everybody's knitting a 12-inch square and sending it to the birthday person, and then once you receive all these squares, you can put it together for yourself.
Right.
And I'm like, I just love that because it's this combination of knitted squares from this combination of friends, that you've made, and you'll end up with this beautiful,
piece of all of them.
Yeah.
And if not for that, not this.
Right,
You would not have this,
Exactly.
And that's what I say too. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's just, they just, there's no strangers at these meetups. There's, and you get to know, people that you never would ever meet, or come in contact with, and then find out you have so much in common.
Yeah.
Besides knitting as well.
Yeah, for sure.
There's, we all have our stories for sure. So, anyway, we're again super excited about it coming up. Already worrying about things like nobody can get sick, nobody can die, nobody can.
Right.
But the nice thing is, should something happen, we have somebody who will step up and help, because that's just the way this community is. So, we hope you'll come and enjoy join us. We'll be talking about it more all the way. So, and anyway, that's all I have. I think that's all I have.
Yeah, I think that's all I have.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for watching.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, come back, comment below.
And we hope to see you in July.
Yeah, hope to see you in July, for sure. See you later. Bye.